The Proud Faces Podcast.
Welcome back. It's been a long time coming. Yeah, what's going on with your life? You said you moved to another place. Is it a different country, city, or what is it?
No, I just moved to a different city, basically. And so finally, I mean, I tried to move for like 14 months and couldn't find anything. And now, yeah, I'm in this chaos. And yeah, I still gotta work through all these boxes and stuff. But yeah, basically, the living room is almost finished, so I can work on music.
Right. So we actually planned to have another episode in April because you had the album release, and we couldn't do it by multiple reasons. So I
Yeah.
can't believe it's been almost a year. Just one more month, it will be a year. So a lot of things can happen. So like you actually moved, which is already a big thing, I think. Um, so maybe we could reverse and play as we in April and just share things about your release. I think it's important, and maybe with the retrospect, is anything you could have been done could have been done better, differently, or release just went through the way you expected.
Man, releasing an album is always tough for me because I've done it a couple times with different projects and stuff, and I'm always really nervous when it comes down to the release because you work so much on the specific album and then you put it out and then people judge it and people can say all kinds of stuff about it and there's so many different opinions on one thing and it's exciting yet still really frightening sometimes. And yeah, I think I could have done better on promoting the album, definitely, because it flopped, honestly. I prepared a lot of videos and I tried my best, but that's the internet and that's algorithm on short form content platforms. You can not predict when a song is going to work and when
Right.
not. So that's a huge problem. And I think I released some of my best songs yet on the last album, but none of them worked. And Light in the Dark, my 2022 release, is still on the top of my Spotify charts. So yeah, I think it did not work. But anyways, yeah, it worked on another level. I mean, I connected with new people through this album.
Right.
I connected with people that really like the new layer of this music because it's more personal. It's darker than releases prior to this release. And yeah, I think this is an achievement that I really appreciate. Yeah.
Right. Well, I definitely would say like if you mentioned that it's you connected to other people after the release, during the release, because it's different to you and it's different to people, I would definitely confirm it's a little bit more emotional than your previous work. I listened to it. Yeah, it has different, I would say, atmosphere, and it's different, I would say, feedback that you usually expect. And I don't know, like I don't think we could expect anything from art. It's like you do it and you never know what's going to happen. But sometimes you release something that you think it's not even, should be uploaded, and then it actually goes up. It never happened to me, but I know many people that happened to them.
And that's actually the story of my song Light in the Dark. This was a B-side. And I had a couple of friends back then that told me, yeah, this song is actually pretty cool. It's a vibe. And I was like, oh, I hate this song. I hate this song so much. And I still do. I still do, honestly. And people dig it. I don't know why, but there are still every day new people listening to the song and they save it on Spotify and stuff. And it's so funny how people can resonate to something that does not mean that much to you. You know what I mean? I mean, the song still means something to me, but I never thought it is on the artistic level that I want to deliver, you know?
Well, I think it's the way it works. It actually has explanation because I've been into a lot of spirituality, and in my previous podcast, I actually spoke with the guy who was a really long time into astrology and other different people. If you want the take on how it works and on that level, is actually one of the ways of law of attraction. because it's something that you don't expect that actually comes in a different way, something that you unexpected. But if you actually want to program yourself to expect something good out of one song, you will never get it. But if you release the expectations, you will get a ton. So the only way is to attract more is actually to get a hang of this instrument called universe, and then actually will attract more and more stuff. Uh, I actually know how this works, but I am not a professional, so I'm still into process of like getting around this. I would say law of attraction, and it's very interesting. I think it's like a gym. Like you have to go there, you have to like play with the instrument, and you see a lot of celebrities, a lot of people who are actually out there and have millions of streams. They know exactly how it works. That's why they have specific dates for releases. They have specific production components and everything. Everything is actually thought through. It's not just random stuff. So with experience, we get into that, and I think we both are not an exclusion. You're not an exclusion, and maybe in the future we'll be completely different. So probably
Hopefully.
it's good. It's good to have less expectations. We just have to post more and don't think about it. That's the hardest part. Consistency, yes.
Yeah, consistency is key, definitely. Yeah.
Well, everyone says consistency is the key, but it's not that easy, because sometimes you think you are in the consistency zone, but you're actually in burning out zone. So you have to distinguish one and the other and actually relax more, because maybe instead of being really consistent 100%, you will relax, you will get your thoughts together, and then in 1 week or in 2 months, you will get twice more done, and it will be more creative, more productive.
That's
All right.
true.
So do you follow the World Cup right now?
Yeah, I entered dad mode, man. My girlfriend is absolutely not into football or soccer at all, and I was like, no, I have to watch every single game that I'm able to watch, and yeah, I've been doing so. And I mean, man, I'm from Germany, and Germany was I was so disappointed. I mean, no, let's not talk about that. But yeah, there was some amazing matches, and I really enjoyed some of them. I mean, Cape Verde against Argentina. I mean, that was an amazing game.
It was amazing, but it's actually I'm not really big fan of like watching consistently. Like I can watch a couple of games when it's like playoffs, and I'm actually rooting for Portugal. But I think like this game, Cape Verde with Argentina was like one of the best games in the history, and I have missed it because I think it was closer to 3 billion people watching online streaming that. It's amazing. It's probably the biggest event of all time so far. Yeah, but it's something off about this cup, and I don't know. I cannot really put it to words yet. Maybe in the future I will, but I'm not really following too much. It's just some of the games, some of the highlights I do. But since you're in Germany and you're from there, I had to ask because you're probably disappointed.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm not really emotional when it comes to sports because man, I'm not really into sports. I'm a musician, and but I yelled at my TV, and I was so into it because I don't know what happened at this night, but the German team just failed horribly, and yeah, it was so sad to see this live.
It's just amazing how much it's unfair how much they get paid, how much they train, how much like they get like completely different life, and when they on the stage on the field they just play like they never played before. Imagine like this
Yeah,
happened to musicians. The musicians wouldn't be ever on the stage if they're not ready. So it's different, but also musicians don't get paid even closely as much as players.
yeah. I mean, but in the end, mistakes happen, and you can be perfectly prepared for everything, but mistakes happen, and I think that's what happened there. So let's see, 2028. I hope they'll be back in a better shape. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the highlights I loved about football is Zlatan. He's just so funny. He's always on point. Like all these highlights he got on the. Have you seen it? Have you?
I don't think so. What do you mean?
Zlatan, he used to play for Sweden, and
Oh
right,
yeah, the player. Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
yeah. So he's not a player right now. He's actually in Fox Sports right now, and he's been like promoting. He's been basically a host for the news in the United States. So but he's still playing his own like overconfident style, and it's just funny. You have to see a couple of highlights that he's been doing. It's just so funny. That's to me, it's just the funniest stuff like from all this event, but the rest is just whatever.
Okay.
Have you seen what Russian couple did in New York and on the Empire State Building?
I've seen it, yeah. And I've seen all these memes and bands that threw their band logo on this piece of what was it? This flag that they put up there. Yeah, it was so funny and it was a strong message, honestly. Yeah.
Well, yes, I wanted to ask because it's also like really like out there. It's like one of the biggest highlights of the year, and it also I got a flashback from my previous podcast with astrologer because he was talking about this kind of events because right now we are in the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius actually is responsible for all this rebel stuff. So we're gonna have a lot of revolutions in the future, and right now a lot of wars and stuff like what happened with this couple. So maybe I think it was staged. It's because they actually been on Netflix. They've been doing this for a really long time. It's just so funny, but it's also bananas to be up there. So it's
And
so
he
crazy.
proposed, right? He proposed to her.
Yeah, but also people say that he raised the bar for the guys being proposing up there, but no one talks about that actually she climbed with him, so they're actually together. So she's not down there waiting, he's not up there expecting from the yes or no. She's there, so they're working together. That's how I think it should be, not just with every couple, but similarly on their relationships level where you actually work together. I think it will last longer. Yeah. Think it will last longer. So yeah, what else is going on with your life? So you moved, you released the album, you're working on something new. What else?
I'm currently working on a new album. I don't have a release date yet, but I'm just working on some ideas because actually a lot happened over the last year. I mean, like I said, I moved into this flat where we had our first conversation, and man, it was so terrible to live there, honestly. And I was diagnosed with autism last year, and I had a lot of tough conversations with people that I thought were good friends and turned out to not be that close to me anymore. And I don't want to blame anyone, but I think this happens in life that people change, situations change. And it was a really tough year. Last year was really tough, yeah. And so I'm really looking forward because things changed pretty good. I mean, for the good. And I mean, it definitely is topic in my new music right now. Yeah, that a lot of things changed, and yeah, songs coming.
Amazing. So you mentioned you've been diagnosed with autism, but you also said you had troubles and with some of the friendships. Is this somehow connected, the diagnosis, or is it just completely different events?
I mean, probably a lot of autistic people would agree, but I always had struggles with social connections and social events, and yeah, this is definitely connected, but not in the way I expected. I mean, it was happening simultaneously somehow, that I got the diagnosis and that people starting to act different, not because of the diagnosis, but because of circumstances. I mean, in 2024, I had a breakup and stuff, and you know, I had some friends that were friends with people from the past, and I think that happened a lot last year. So yeah, probably had something to do with it, but yeah, not that much in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned that people change, but it's not about that, like friends or other groups of people change that we don't match anymore. It's you change and they are not changing. That's the problem. So I've had this a lot. So I also not into, evaluating people and, judging people. It's just, I realized from my own perspective and working with specialists that is when you evolve, other people try to actually drag you down, and they usually be more aggressive towards you because they don't want to grow to that level. It's more uncomfortable. So because you might be, evolving, releasing music, and they're probably somewhere on the similar level, and it's never gonna match unless they're genuine people. And we live in a world where 90% people are not genuine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, I always received negative feedback for working on music, not because of the music. It was because of my intensity of working on music. And people always try to say, oh, yeah, you gotta fixate on a real job. You gotta do something real. And that's messed up because like I said in our first episode, I always love to support everyone that is into something, because I'm so fascinated when someone is so into a specific topic, and that's just fascinating to me, and I can't understand why people don't do this on a regular basis. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's already answer. If you're not genuine, you're not gonna do it. You're just gonna
Probably.
You're just gonna follow your program, and our job is not to interfere. Our job is actually to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. For example, if you just cut off the relationship, if you just cut off the game, it's also not correct from my perspective, because if you don't say anything, they're just gonna do the same stuff to other people. But if you say what's actually going on and that on which level we are different, they're not gonna understand right now. But at the time they will start evolving, they will realize, because this stuff is actually gets integrated into your brain when you talk to people about these topics, and it will actually pop up at the right moment. So you're not gonna teach; you're just gonna say what's wrong and move on. And that's the healthy boundary. Sometimes people just ignore. Well, it's also depends on the situation. Yeah, it's just too much stuff. People shit, like as Corey Taylor said, it's never changed.
But yeah.
Yeah, relationships are not easy, but I think that's also fuel for artistic work. Don't you think so?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's so funny because I wrote a lot of songs about stuff that happened in the last year, and I always wrote about stuff that happened. And it's so funny when I reflect my last record, Better Place. I mean, I wrote some of these songs when I was 14. I'm about to turn 23, and it's so funny to look at these songs now, and they're still relevant because they capture the feeling. Like the title track, I wrote it when I was 14, and I didn't change anything. It's the whole thing as it was when I was
Right.
14. And so it's so funny to me because, I mean, I wrote a couple thousand songs that are trash and that I don't want anyone to hear because it's just embarrassing. But there's some songs that actually work, and they still work. And yeah, it's so funny to me because, yeah, this is a really old song that is about a specific type of relationship, a relationship with yourself, and how others perceive this version of yourself in specific situations. And yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, the levels of the game are changing because it's a simulation and it's going to change. It's not going to get easier. So that's why you have to actually retrospect and have evaluation of the situation, because on the next level, you're going to have something way more complicated with different levels of people. For example, you will work with some labels or production teams and you will see the same patterns. And now you're going to recognize them, and you're not going to, cut off the game. You're going to be more smart. you're gonna be like a snake, but in a good way.
Yeah, I
So
got it.
uh,
Sure.
so it's to me like the best explanation of this situation and this game is in the Robert Greene book, The Power 48 Laws of Power, and he has other books too, which are great, but this one is great. And actually, 50 Cent, he read the book and he added two more, so he has actually 50 Laws of Power, which is cool.
Okay.
So you also, I remember that you've been tagged or contacted by what's his name, the big producer with 8 Grammys, Scott Storch. So tell me
You
that
mean,
story.
yeah, yeah. Man, I there's not much about it. I mean, he reached out to me after I commented on his post, and yeah, we texted a bit about music and probably working on music, but nothing really happened. I mean, 99% of the time, this is the thing that happens, you know?
Yeah,
People reach out or you reach out to people and they somehow think, yeah, I'm going to reply, and nothing is going to happen. I mean, it happened quite a lot of times. I mean, I don't want to brag, but there are some names I could name that I have interacted with, but nothing happened. And that's the game, you know? But I'm so thankful for every situation or every interaction with those people, because I can learn something, and I am not that mad at them, because man, I'm a nobody, and they are famous, and they don't have anything when they collaborate with me, but I will gain a lot when they collaborate with me. So that's pretty fair. So yeah, I'm not mad, but this is experience, and this is
yeah.
something I'm really thankful for. Yeah.
It's a very humble point of view, but at the same time, the best thing we can do if you already have history of the messaging and the direct messages. The best thing you can do is just you continue your game, because you never know who's watching you, because they have other accounts or hidden accounts that actually watch people. And if you continue your work, if you're more consistent, they probably that's what they're looking for. Not just like some person has one release, two releases like I am. I didn't have an albums yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're looking for someone who's actually more longer in the game, so they have more work ethic as well. So I think you already have history, you already have your experience at this age is amazing, on this level is amazing. So to say that you are nothing is it's too humble for you. So you can actually be more confident, I would say, about your art.
No,
So yeah.
but no, but I don't have millions of streams, or I don't have a Grammy, you know. But compared to them, I'm a nobody. That's what I mean. I have experienced, and I've been in this industry for quite some years. I mean, I worked with labels and A&Rs and stuff, but I know how it works on a low register. But no, these people are just upper class. I'm not playing their league, you know. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the reason I asked about Scott Storch, because I have a funny situation with him, because back in the times when I was in Los Angeles, I think it was 2014 or 15, he used to live in LA at that moment. And at that time, I was working as a delivery guy, and I delivered some of the furniture.
Okay.
Yeah, I also had experience working for different odd jobs, like moving companies, delivery companies, taxi driver. I've done everything, like from waiter to like banking jobs. And at that day, like I exactly knew who Scott Storch was, but I never knew how he looked like. So I didn't realize he actually looks like a Russian guy, Russian mobster to me, because he's from Philadelphia. Imagine like if you just take an average Russian guy, give him the same glasses, the size of Scott Storch glasses, he will look like completely Russian. Even accent, something just resembles that. Like he's not American. And so what happened to me is like I worked for a company where we had so many Russian clients in LA. So it's just a regular delivery, but this guy is a little bit different level. He has a security guards, African American. They smoke a lot of weed. They have sport cars in the garage, and it's like, wow, people are. Yeah, and I I remember I see the Scott Storch. I don't know who that is. I don't know that it's actually him. I asked him where we should put this couch or something like that. And I actually asked in Russian because I was 100% sure he's Russian. So so I asked that. He didn't understand, and he said just put it over there. I was like, wow. And then, the other guy who was my helper, he told me like, he asked me, "Do you know who that is?" I was like, "No." And he didn't explain. He just played the song like "Still" by Dre, and other things from Need for Speed Underground. I was like, "Is that him? Is this guy?" He has like 8 Grammys, and I was just sitting like being in his house delivering couch for him. He will never remember me, but that was my interaction with Scott Storch. And if I knew exactly what would happen, of course, I would take a autograph, I would take a picture, and I will talk to him. But yeah, I really missed the opportunity. But also at the same time, at that time I was actually more into music than I am right now, for example. So if I knew who that was, I would actually miss the really bigger opportunity than just taking a picture. Because to me, the picture it would be cool. Because it's not like obvious thing to do, but at the same time, I don't know it's like if it was allowed because the bodyguard was crazy. Those guys are big. But it's cool. Back to your story. I think it's great to have history and conversation because even if you will, send a DM or he will reply eventually, you will see more. There's more to your account than it was before, and more to your art. So I think it's great. And then he's just one guy, and I don't think he really matches your style. I think you would have to match his style to release anything to his game. So I don't know. Like maybe it's even better off to continue with your own passion because a lot of things you would have to consider before signing that kind of contract because you would completely change who you are in those games.
Probably, probably. It would be interesting because I thought one song with him would be really interesting just to hear what we would come up with, you know? Not a whole album or stuff, but just one song would be really interesting. Because I work so different to other people when it comes to music. I usually finish the song in one session, front to back and stuff, and it would be so nice to have someone else in this session just to say what he thinks or stuff, because I don't work with other people that often. So that would be
Yeah.
pretty challenging and interesting at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to work with you on something because I am the same way. Because I like to, I actually had experience with producers, and it's actually more productive to me. So, in the same time, working with somebody who would actually give you another opinion, yeah, it's great. I mean, it would definitely create something because it's like creates more force.
Yeah,
Creative
that's
force.
how it
Yeah,
works. Yeah.
great. So, you said you're working on the single right now,
I'm working on a new album,
on the
basically.
album.
Yeah, I have a title and everything, but not every song is written yet. I think probably half of the album is finished.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure how many songs will end up on the album. Yeah, but it's more of a free flow right now because when I made Better Place, I mean, like I said, these songs were old. Some were like 8 years old, and I knew exactly what to do because I played these songs a couple thousand times in my life, and I knew how to record them. I knew how to do stuff. I mean, there's some new ones on this album, like "Fueling the Flames." I wrote it um, when a doctor told me you are probably autistic, and I reviewed my whole life. And this is a pretty new song that I wrote, but all of the other songs are pretty old. And with this new album, I have a completely different approach because I just record one song after the other, and in the end, I just mix them all up as an album because it's about the vibe right now. And I feel inspired to just push on through something. I don't know what, but
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with a quarter life crisis, you know? So,
Right.
yeah.
Do you have already, like you said, it's more like a free flow, but do you have expectations on like date of the release?
Definitely next year. I think summer of next year, probably in 12 months or stuff. I don't know. I usually work with deadlines because that works best for me to know when stuff happens. But right now, I don't know. I'm working on a project with my old death metal band right now. So there's a lot to do. And I'm working on some other projects that I'm not quite sure if I will ever put out something with them right now. But yeah, no, I am constantly creating, so I don't want to say, oh yeah, June next year, because there will be a lot of pressure. If the album is finished by August this year, I will put it out in February next year, and let's go. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, probably the half of the album is finished, and it's production-wise way better than anything before. I mean, I said it the last time, and I don't want to be like, oh, this next album is so much better than the one before. But
Right.
when it comes to the production, it's more mature than the previous album, because you can hear on the last album that some songs were written by a really depressed teen, and the songs I finished in the last couple of weeks and months are so much more mature in its sound. Yeah.
Right. Well, wouldn't it be great if everyone who went through some stuff in their childhood and like really had a rough, adolescence, and they actually had talent, enough capability to write music, to write stuff, to create stuff. I think it would be different world, because right now it's easier than before to actually create stuff. And what we see stupid reels on Instagram. We don't see a lot of good music, emotional music, authentic music. It doesn't have to be Grammy level, but it has to be released, because those emotions at some point they release through art.
I think it's so important for us as human to create something, and it doesn't have to be good in the end. It just has to be an expression of what you lived through or what you feel. And for me, it's so important because I used to create stuff all my life, and it wasn't music all the time, but I used to draw all day long just to cope with stuff that's going on, or I just wrote poems. And it's so amazing because the music I put out is something that it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to creation. And I love when people just create for the purpose of creating something, and for the purpose of finding ways to work through specific stuff, positive,
Right.
negative stuff. And yeah, it can be anything. It can be drawing or just collecting weird stuff. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. And yeah,
Yeah,
creating is cool.
totally agree. The what we came here to do is just to create, and with creativity, we actually help other people. Um, I don't think there's anything else we can do. I mean, we can help people with, physically heal them. Be a doctor or dentist, right? But for the rest of the people, you either serve them or you create something to help them. And music, it's magical stuff, and any art is magical stuff. It's just you create something from nothing, and it has to be someone has to do it, but a lot more people are capable of doing it, and they just are not confident enough. But as we said earlier, a lot of people are not genuine, and art requires a little bit different level of being, of, I would say, fancy word, vibration. No one likes it, but it is what it is. It's just how it works. We just have to admit it. I don't like that word either, but it's just, you have to, evolve at some level, at some point, and then you will actually, go through the dome and you will create more stuff. You will have different vision. Even like yourself, you will see more creativity in your past work. Because it happened to me too, and I released unofficially a couple of the demos, and they actually been made back in high school. And right now, with my experience, all I can do is just add more, mastering, because I already actually know how to do this, and it's different technologies, and it's way faster. And to me, it sounds stupid, just like it sounded before, but for someone, it's amazing, right? So,
Yeah, that's it. 100%. And that's what I'm always saying to one of my friends, or to my best friend. I always tell him it's not about perfectionism. It's about creating, and someone will love it, because if you love what you do, someone else will. And that's basically it. I mean, you don't have to put out your work, your creativity to anyone. It can just be for you. And if you decide to put it out, in this case, music, yeah, you have to be prepared for all kinds of reactions. And that's it. I mean, and you will probably know it too. If you put out music and 500 people tell you, oh, that's amazing. One person tells you, oh, this is crap. You will focus on this one person and you will say, oh gosh, yeah, this song is a failure. I'm a failure. Oh man, what the hell? And I don't know why we are so overreactive to negative feedback. I mean, I catch myself sometimes in this spiral of negativity when I read comments, negative comments or hate comments on platforms. But I'm so happy to be able to share my music. I'm so happy to reach people with my music and to be a part of someone else's life. I don't mean like, oh, I have super fans, but to be that my music is there for people in specific situations. Like I mentioned the last time, I received messages like, oh, this song saved my life. And I'm like, I'm just a random dude making music. What the hell? This is so amazing. And I'm so honored to have this impact on someone else out there. And that's just amazing because this music saved me. I started working on music because I didn't know how to cope with these negative feelings and emotions. And I was so down when I was starting with music. It was like the last attempt to express myself before I drown in all this negativity. And that's the reason it's so amazing to see that these songs that literally, and I mean it, literally saved my life, that they have an impact on someone else. It's just magical. Yeah.
Yeah, you've mentioned the negativity spiral. Yes, I also call it captivity of negativity. And a lot of people, they just feed on that. They feed on hating everyone online, and they don't actually mean that. It's just state of mind. It's just they captivated by negativity, and everything they see is just negativity. And to musicians, to any other people, and in my experience, whenever I release something, and every time I actually got a negative feedback or the feedback I didn't want to hear, actually been from my relatives and my friends, and I never got real support from friends or some ex coworkers and stuff like that. But whenever I shared with some random dude like you, I shared some stuff, or I shared some music with online people, I never actually got a bad feedback yet. I've got some bad feedbacks on something else, but not on my art. Yeah, it's not as much comments, it's not as much feedback, but something I released on SoundCloud. It was just practicing with my teacher, vocals teacher. So he was playing piano, I was singing along, and there was a cover of the song, and I was just recorded on iPhone. No, editing, no mastering anything. I actually uploaded, and I decided like I just want to save it there as a on the cloud. It's just I'm not expecting anything, and I've had so many streams, and I had so many likes that I never had on anything else. And even on the stuff I thought it's actually better, and actually edited. So something that raw, something that authentic, even with my Russian accent, is still someone actually listens to it. So I think over time we just take negativity as additional energy, just as positivity, if you just don't overreact to it.
Oh yeah, man. And that's it. I mean, I had to think about this negativity for quite a while now because I don't know if you've listened to the song Crushed Ice I put out 2 months ago. And man, I received so much hate for this song because the song is uncomfortable. I know it, but this world is uncomfortable too. And we can't close our eyes for this
Right.
horrible stuff that's happening right in front of us. And I don't judge anyone for the beliefs and stuff, but just getting random hate from random people on the internet for speaking up on something that they are not that they are not that they are not capable of. They are scared probably to speak about topics like MAGA and ICE and stuff. I'm not. I'm not because I don't see a reason to be scared, and I don't think it's good to not speak up about these topics. It just scares me how many people decided to look away and not step up and say, "Hey, man, I got to say something about this." And receiving all kinds of weird comments. Man,
Right.
I really questioned myself for quite some time, but no, I came to the conclusion you don't write hate comments when you're completely happy in your life. It's the same with racism and stuff. It happens from a really fragile point, and I do not support this crap, you know. So I never wrote a hate comment in my life, except for some really weird videos or really weird takes. But I think you will probably agree. Sometimes you write a hate comment, but it's not on a daily basis, right? Yeah, right. And that's
Yeah.
it. So yeah.
I think if you do this, any evaluation, any your view, what's going on in the world, because it's your personal world. Whatever is happening, it's just not anybody else's world. First of all, it's your world. But if you're doing this in the form of art, like no one can actually judge you. I mean, they can, but they're not gonna change anything about it. Because art is art. And let's talk about Banksy art, right? He's been doing that for a very long time, reflecting his view and other artists too. But if we just go into captivity of negativity where we hate just because everything happens without art, that leaves you nowhere. That actually creates more misery. And misery, what misery loves company. That's why that company tries to bring you down. And they say like, what are you doing? Music is not it's not gonna make you any money and stuff like that, because misery loves company. But if we have an instrument to express, whether it's just talking like this over podcast, or it's music, or it's another form of art, I think that's the only way to express, not just for our immediate followers, because I don't think we have huge following base like millions. We're not influencers yet, but algorithms are changing, and this data, metadata, not gonna go anywhere. It's already on internet, and maybe someone somewhere in 5 years will look at this and they will have actually a piece of evidence on different world that was before. So I think it's very important to create history, and we don't create history just with the great match on the World Cup. We create history just right now creating content. I think that's
sure.
more important. Yeah. Cool. So you mentioned that you're back in the game with your metal stuff. It's really exciting to me to hear it because I'm also a metalhead. So the first question, since you're in Germany, have you ever been onto Rock am Ring?
Unfortunately or fortunately not. I'm not a huge festival guy. I hate crowds and stuff. It's not my thing, but it must be an experience. Yeah, definitely.
So
I've
you're
been
not
to
really German then. You're not really German.
No, I don't drink beer, man. Oh fuck.
Twice,
No,
twice, not German.
fuck it, yeah. And I don't eat brezel. Yeah, no, but no, jokes aside. I've been to smaller festivals, and no, it was a blast, but no, I've never been to a Rock am Ring. No.
Yeah. it's actually my dream. But I've seen separately a lot of bands even that played this year. But I've never been on in the Rock am Ring because I'm actually over time also is not really a big fan of festivals like this. It's too big and it's too crowded, and I'd rather be on stage somewhere. But also just to have experience because I've been following and watching the Rock am Ring since I was a kid, since school. So it's interesting. And uh, to say about like you in Germany never been to Rock am Ring, it's also the same thing happened when I've met one American back in Indonesia, and I asked her if she ever seen the monster trucks, and she said no. So I said, I'm more American than you then because you've never been on the monster trucks because
When
it's
it comes
something
down to
that they
monster
do.
trucks,
So
yeah.
you have to watch
Okay.
the baseball and you have to see the monster trucks. Otherwise, you're not American, even if you have a passport and social security. So I've done my part. So next stop is to be a little bit German and to be on the Rock am Ring, either on the stage or just to see the concert.
Man, but a couple of weeks ago, I've listened to the Hurricane show from 21 Pilots on the balcony of my girlfriend's flat because she lives really nearby the festival
Wow.
area, and I actually took some videos where yeah, they played the show, and it was so funny because we had the live stream where they played, and we could listen to the songs and we could understand everything. So it was so funny to yeah, be at the festival but not be at the festival. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really cool experience when, they do stuff like this. Because they show they're real. It's not like, professional production and huge money and fireworks, just like Justin Bieber did on Coachella, very simple stuff. Something like that, something simple. Yeah, something unique. That's authenticity. And I think um, when you show to the world authenticity like this, you help other people to also be more creative. You just show them how easy it is. Because for some podcasters, I've shown that, even with accent like mine and being somewhere in the basement in Siberia, you can also do the podcast with people from Germany and America, or other stuff like making music without huge studio. You can just have a laptop and also release stuff, and also that will be appreciated by someone. Um, I think that's job, and that's a job of creative person. You just have to treat it like a office. That's your part of a duty.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah, so back into metal stuff. So you're working on an album that will be released approximately next year. So what's exactly is going on with this metal project? So what are you guys doing right now?
So yeah, I am in a band called Fall of the Heathens, and we yeah, took a break in 2024 because we had all kinds of stuff going on back then. And yeah, we finished with a huge charity campaign for Dunkelziffer e.V. That's basically a company that helps children that unfortunately were abused. And yeah, then after that, we decided to take a break because in just 18 months, we recorded like 3 albums, an EP, played a couple shows, and sold a lot of merch. And it was so much. It was so much. We signed a record deal. And then we said, no, just focus on ourselves right now. And now we talked about, man, our first album that ever came out is about to turn 5 this year. Let's
Right.
rework it and put it out. Because back then oh man, the Heaven recording session is so messed up, and I can talk for hours about it because we were doing all kinds of alcohol and drugs back then, and we're recording at midnight in a flat. There were still people living in this house, and we were recording screams and stuff at midnight, and it was so funny. And
Right.
this album sounds like trash, to be honest, but it holds great memories. And we said, now we're older, now we're better at what we do, and we should definitely re-record it because the 5th anniversary is a really strange anniversary because we're so young, and we're still we can't believe that it's about to turn 5 this year. So yeah, that's a milestone we want to celebrate. And I'm currently recording the instrumentals, and Alex is the singer of the band, and he is preparing his vocal cords to bleed again.
Right. It's funny how sometimes even people like me don't believe in astrology and entirely in the mystic stuff because I want to. I just don't have enough capacity to actually learn it. It's really complicated stuff. But what I know exactly, it's actually the stage of retrograde right now, but it's a positive retrograde that brings good memories and good projects back in
Okay.
life. And I think, and seeing that it's actually happening to you, it's great. The only thing is just to look out for whenever retrograde happens, is just don't let anything really, really old and painful in. But if it's something that you actually want to work on and release again and feel those emotions, but without drugs, it would be amazing.
100%. This time sober.
Yeah.
We're older and wiser now, but we're not that old. So yeah, but now we had good conversations about it because we said we don't want to get into this grind that it was back then. We just want to remain really good friends and then do the music, and not do the music and somehow stay friends. And so I hope it works because yeah, the album is it has amazing songs. So I'm really looking forward to it because the anniversary is in December. So we gotta rush through it because the time is running out.
Yeah. And it's tough to see how it's actually not easy right now to be in a band and to be an active band because even if you're active, even if you're like famous, let's say the band like Periphery, and I've seen the interview, like, and they're saying that um, they're actually not making enough money for all the members just to, support the lives. They all have side projects, sometimes not really music related. And from my perspective as well, it's never enough just one project. If you're a creative person, you have to find other things that you actually want to do and you want to pursue, learn something new. And with the help with new technologies, AI, just use it, carefully. Use it the way it actually can assist you, not in a way that you will create something that is not authentic, of course. But when it's assisting you, for example, creating a logo, for example, in order for me, I've created merch for myself, and it's never been easier than right now, because right now you can actually print it and ship it on demand, right? But before
Yeah,
you
I
have
heard
to
about it.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually one company. I think it's called Printful. They're actually in Germany, and if you guys there, I definitely, and if you're gonna reunite and release music and think about merch, check out Printful, and you guys can have merch on demand that will be printed and shipped without your attention. So it's like amazing. Stuff like this can actually really help to create more, because what stops people is actually real, struggles
Some money.
with
Yeah.
financial stuff. But when
Man, we
you
paid so much money back then for merch, because you have to buy so and so many T-shirts to actually make money in the end, and you have to make so and so many CDs to make money in the end. So it was so expensive to play shows because you have to sell merch, a lot of merch, to not lose money that night. So yeah, it's the on-demand stuff is really, really great. Yeah. And we talked about, because vinyls are booming. Nobody is buying CDs anymore. Everybody
all
wants
right,
vinyls. And I don't know if you've ever checked the prices for pressing vinyls, but for 100 vinyls, you have to pay around like 2,000 euros. And it's just, who has 2,000 bucks just laying around
yeah,
for vinyls? Who? So
yeah.
pressing vinyls on demand is pretty cool. And yeah, but there's a lot to it. You have to master the tracks differently. So yeah, we'll see. But it's great. It's a great opportunity for smaller bands and artists. Yeah.
What definitely changed is the short form content that you can actually create your practices. You can film, your actual daily life. You can create, you can film your recording and everything, basically your life. And with following base, just like what happened with the Spirit Box, they actually were no name even 10 years ago. But what they started doing for the first few years is actually releasing a lot of reels, so real life stuff from studio, from rehearsing. And that's how they actually got famous. Because right now everybody's online, everybody's just on scrolling, captivity of negativity and finding shit online. And if you're just gonna be somewhere in between showing your art in the form of this content, I think that's where we are right now. As long as we're not dancing, as long as it's not, OnlyFans jerking off, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. Maybe. If the music doesn't work out, I think no, that's a joke. Yeah, got it. No, that was never the
The thing
plan
is,
to dance around on short form content. No, it's just
well,
not my type of shit.
Stupid dancing, yes. Like I think if it exists, it's someone's actually watching. But for example, if you're comedian or if you're a musician, right, and then you're just for promoting your contents, you're actually doing completely different stuff. I don't know. It really depends. It was a story with Matt Rife, the comedian, that his views were spiking on TikTok, and at some point it slowed down, and they actually had a meeting with TikTok, and they said we changed the algorithm, so right now we're not promoting comedy anymore, stand up anymore, so you have to dance. And he said, like, I'm not gonna dance. I'm a comedian. Goddamn. So I think it really depends, but some of the stuff we can actually use in our advantage and create. Instead of really simple, stupid content, we can create clips, we can create reels with beautiful B-rolls and something that we actually can be sold as a additional product, create more products, and not just for the sake of product, that actually helps towards other charities and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of ideas can be played with.
Yeah, sure. And a prime example of really selling yourself in a great way was the late Oliver Tree. Man, I really enjoyed the way of dancing in a way that people love about. I mean, his whole personality was just a huge, how do I say it, man? Wait, gotta think. I just forgot the word. But everyone laughed about him, and I actually enjoyed his way of promoting music and his personality, his persona, so much over the past few years. And yeah, you don't have to dance. That's my point. You don't have to dance to be successful, not famous, but successful on short form content. But I'm really annoyed of the trend that you have to dance to promote your song, because one video of your song going viral means nothing. Nobody's listening to your song. Your song has to start a trend or something that people pick up, and that will make your song work. So that's really annoying, because what is new to people on the internet nowadays? Basically nothing. So you have to find ways, and that's so annoying for me to promote music, because just sitting on the couch and singing a song with an acoustic guitar is definitely not new. And people will probably swipe because it's boring. Yeah, you want the dopamine, and yeah, it's so difficult to promote music. But I said it before on the first episode that I have a problem with short form content and the creation of short form. It's so difficult to separate creating something for the art that means a lot to you. It's just weird, in my opinion, but you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah, you can find your way, because what happened with internet, before internet, what you had to do if you're not famous, you had to be somewhere on the street or in subway with your acoustic and play something, and some people will pay you.
Oh yeah.
And you're just in one city and you will have like, couple of thousand people pass you by, some people will gather and some people will pay you, right? And right now you in front of the millions and billions of people. So with consistency and with creativity, you can make something work that, that will be okay with you You're not dancing, but you're still being creative. But you have completely different engagement. And in form of band, it's even more easier, I think, because you have multiple subjects moving in the rhythm. You have good vibes, right? You have a good aura. You create this kind of your own style, how you film it. So it looks like a short film every time. So sometimes it's funny, it's like a comedy, and yeah, that's how it works. Especially when you're touring, it's probably the funniest moments with the band.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think if we look at this way, yeah, internet has more potential than just if we go back in a stone age, but with acoustic, because no one will see you.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's so fascinating to me because you can post one video, it goes viral, and somehow it works, you know? And that's just fascinating to me, but it's so difficult because there are so many more people competing with you and competing with you at any time. That makes it so difficult. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to be in the 90s without the internet and playing my ass off just to fail in the end, probably. I mean, you will never know. That's the point. You can post a million videos and every video will fail, but it's not about virality and stuff. It's more about creating a fan base. I don't like the word, but creating a fan base that grows constantly. That's
right.
worth a
Do
lot more.
you really believe in difficulty of this and competition? Because let's say we take average podcast that has millions of views. They never consider themselves competitors. They're actually friends. They actually invite each other most of the time. But yet their content is sometimes 4 hours long. And when we say we compete against short form content, which is 20 seconds, I don't think so. I think it's just all about consistency, because the person you're competing with, he can have billions of views and you can have billions of views. There is no way that he can have more views. It's just you never know how algorithm work.
But views are limited to time and to people. So I just watched a video the other day where a dude showed mathematically how many streams are available globally when it comes to music and how many streams you need to make a living of music. And he explained it in a really good way. I don't have the numbers in my head right now, but he explained it in a really good way that there are just so many streams and you need that much of this whole pond of streams. And in the end, you're definitely competing, even though you're friends. That's the thing. I don't want to be like, oh, you're competing all the time. I mean, I show love to other musicians all the time because I hate to think that way. But when it comes down to numbers and to facts, it's actually competing. Sadly, yeah. But we're all competing somehow, because if you are listening to I don't know, someone else's music tomorrow, you're not listening to my music, so you don't give me the streams that you're giving to them. You know what I mean? It comes down to numbers. It's stone cold.
Right.
And but yeah, that's the thing. We're all competing, but in a good way. I mean, to see friends of mine not making it, but gaining more followers and higher stream numbers is so amazing to me, because it pushed me in a different way to see them succeed, to see others succeed, to see small artists go viral for the first time and then have a small hit on TikTok. It's yeah, inspiring to me. But yeah, in the end, unfortunately, we're competing. Yeah.
I also see the tendency that it's not about following anymore, because it's a different game right now with AI and algorithms. And I experienced it the way that I specifically decided not to follow anyone, because most of my followers used to follow some stupid shit that actually ends up on my feed. All right. So when I don't follow anyone, I don't follow that stuff anymore. And what I actually allow myself is random algorithms that actually fit for me, but there doesn't have another filter of my friends and my followers. So, and what I see is something authentic, unique, that I've never seen before. new accounts, new people. And to me, where this is going is probably followers is not going to matter anymore. It's going to be more about views, and algorithms going to promote new bands, new projects like yours with your band if we'll be out there. So yes, maybe it's competing, but if in an old way, in an old-fashioned way, if I have to follow you to see you right now, I don't have to follow you to see you anymore. So I think it gives you more spread chance to a bigger audience right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. And but we are still competing to people in China. Somewhere they have like factories of like iPhones and Androids, and they just I've seen it somewhere. It's just a factory of creating reels and content on their platforms with AI, with computers, and it's
Oh, yeah.
completely different level. Yeah.
We're competing to AI all the time, and I hate it. I mean, I fortunately never had this encounter with an AI artist that I say, oh, this music is great. Oh, no, it's AI. But my girlfriend had it a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, I've listened to this artist, and it turns out to be AI. What the hell? Because you can't tell at the first look. And I hate it because, yeah, AI is definitely something we should embrace as a society, but not embrace when it comes to art and to creating something that puts you, or that needs a soul. And AI is stealing from other artists all the time. And I love the website. Oh, what was it called? I don't remember. There was a website that had a database where you could search songs that AI used to train, or companies used to train their AIs. And
Right.
that's just so annoying to me as an artist, because I worked for months on an album, and AI can do an album on an afternoon. And that's just so frustrating, because let's be real, AI music can sound good. There are AI songs that sound completely good, and that's just so terrible, because music should be created by human. It has a different feel to it. I can't explain it. It just has a different feel to it. And you are not an artist if you click on generate. You're not an artist. You
Right.
have to play the song. I don't want to say like you have to play every instrument on the song, but you have to be involved in this creative process of recording, writing, and producing music. So because there's so many layers to it. You have to write a song, you have to demo it, you have to record it, you have to find a producer or a beat maker in the end if you're not capable of playing an instrument. There's so many things that are happening from the initial idea to the release date. And I hate it when people call themselves artists when they're just clicking on generate. I mean,
yeah, I totally I agree, but at the same time, evolution is not going to stop. Everything is going to change constantly.
Yeah.
And we just have to deal with it. And if we know this is a game, this is a simulation, we have to treat it like a part of the game, that's just another level that we have to overcome. But music definitely not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be different. The instrument in between, how it's actually distributed, because it used to be, CD stuff, VHS, and for music videos, and completely different DVDs. Right now, it's all digital. Now it's gonna be something else, and which is good. Maybe we're just not there where we get really, really abundant with it. But at some point, for example, like it happened with debit cards and credit cards, a lot of people with cash always been saying, "Oh, we're not gonna use the fucking credit card. It's too bad." But at the same time, over time, people change their mind. Like they never carry, they never get robbed, right? But still, there's more fraud on the online world. But I think right now we're in a stage where we can see a lot of lack, where as artists we don't get paid enough. But I think that gap will be closed at some point, and everyone will get fair share. So
hopefully, yeah. Because I'm really annoyed when it comes to companies like Spotify. I read the statement they put out at the beginning of 2024 where they said, "Oh, we're gonna block everything that has to do with AI, and we try to pay more," but no, they don't. And now they just pay you after you reach the 1,000 streams milestone. So the first 1,000 streams are gone. So I don't know. It's frustrating. I mean, I've never made big money with streaming, but I made less money
Yes,
nowadays with streaming.
I
Yeah.
think Spotify is made for consumption. It's a really great tool to listen to music. It's really good adaptation, and its UX UI is really good. But when it comes to who's on the background of artists, right, it's not that really convenient, and not really easy for me. I also, put this podcast on the Spotify as well. So it's another app for podcasts. We also have milestones where we get monetization. So to me, I have to hit a certain amount of views in 30 days. So which means I
In 30
have,
days.
yeah. So which means I have to have a lot of episodes already filmed. They gotta be really cool, right? They gotta be picked up by algorithm, by audience, and then I have to upload them at the same time. So I'll get all those views in this range, and then I'll get this milestone for monetization. If I'm gonna continue the way I do, which I'm one man band, I do everything myself. Uh, it's never gonna happen. So maybe it will happen on YouTube, on other platforms, on the short form, but you cannot compete with big podcasters because they got deals, right? They got promotions, they got all sorts of benefits, and they have teams. And when you think, oh, I have to do as much content as them, like you don't really realize that they actually don't do this by themselves. They just basically talking to someone and then they just go home, right? To me, I have to do everything. So it's different because someone set the bar so high right now so that this bar also affected this milestone. And when you're starting like me, so I've been doing this for a year, yes, I'm gonna double my views, I'm gonna double my episodes. I have this plan, but at the same time the bar is so high to get to monetization, and I don't even know how it's gonna look like. Maybe it's not even a point of being monetized by Spotify. Maybe it's a point to get more subscribers on YouTube. Who knows?
Yeah, but that's so dangerous to think about making money from the thing you love, because that can kill the passion. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game.
Well, to me, it's not a game because I'm not playing this for the money. So if I had this money in mind right away, I would never have, even one episode.
Okay.
I do this because I do this because I like it. And I know at some point it's gonna be like quintessence of a lot of things, because you can have music, you can have podcasts, you can have other projects, and somehow personal brands evolves into something like public, right? As a whole. But as a singular thing, as a podcast, I think you have to have really, really different strategy if you're into building like a business, right? So I'm not building the podcast just because I like to talk to people. I have business implementations, some integrations, some stuff I use, but at the same time, not at the level that I'm gonna spend all my time just on chasing this milestone on Spotify.
Yeah. No, that would be insane.
Yeah. Well, just to think about, like Joe Rogan started like you when he was like 50, right? And if I play a long game, right, started when I was like 30, and maybe at the age of 50, I'm gonna have like thousands and thousands of episodes, but it's not gonna be my main source of creativity, because I'm gonna be mad insane if I just do only podcasts, because that's definitely not like, when you have breaks, when you can switch your creativity into other stuff, it's amazing. Yeah, I think every creative person is capable of that. It just takes time to realize what you really like. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I said. There are two ways of putting out or dealing with creativity. I mean, the one is the tip of the iceberg that I mentioned before, the songs I put out on streaming services. And the other thing is the stuff no one sees, songs that I just make for myself, or something I draw on my iPad just for myself because I'm in the mood for it. And yeah, just to circle back to this topic, I mean, creating is just something so important for mental health and for yourself as a person to find an outlet for all this other stuff that is happening on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been almost a year since we last time spoke, and I definitely, I think it's a good gap for like a good pause between the episodes because
Yeah.
I can definitely pick up different aura, and you moved to a different location. You have projects going on. Yeah, because if we had like podcasts like in a few months, it wouldn't really be different, right? But right now, great stuff. Great hearing from you, and really exciting for that you have this sort of system, right? For example, I lack of this because I have I have consistency at some level, but I don't have system like you. For example, you mentioned like, oh, okay, I have a deadline for next year. Like I was like, to me, if I have a project, a single, I don't work with albums right now. I don't have a deadline. I just have
No?
a
Okay.
passion. I just have a
Yeah.
passion, and I just release it whenever I release it. And I have a lot of, drafts that I can work with. But I think if you're already starting your career and like this, with a lot of structure, and you carry about your mental health, and you're gonna go really, really far.
Hopefully.
Especially, especially if people like Scott Storch are already looking after you.
You will never know who slides into your DMs next. That's the thing, yeah. But yeah, man, I hope so. Like I said, there are some great songs coming. There's some cool projects in the making. I'm not quite sure when, but they are definitely pinned to next year. And yeah, hopefully it will work.
Yeah, as you mentioned, like it's definitely important to check the DMs. Sometimes they go into like a request that you really miss opportunities sometimes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I recently decided to check. I didn't have anything important, but my ex-girlfriend texted me, which is really, really odd
Oh,
because I didn't.
good or bad?
Well, it's not good. It's not bad. It's just I didn't expect. I didn't expect it on
Okay.
Instagram because she has different ways of communication, but that's why it actually
Okay.
went to spam messages, which I don't check, which
Okay.
probably sounded like really, really weird that your message went to spam. But see, like I'm actually gonna check my messages because it's been like 3 weeks, and then I checked the messages like, wow, interesting.
Sorry for ignoring you almost a year.
Yeah, it's probably how it sounds like, but um, interesting. Like I just seen on Threads a couple of the messages about people, posting the screenshots of their missed opportunities. And some of the big names actually, requested a service or a product, and one of them was Oliver Sykes requesting the tattoo master to come to UK, and he didn't respond for like a year.
No. Oh my God. I would literally kill myself if this would happen to me.
With the same instrument, yes.
Yes. Man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is so fucked up. Yeah. But that's a habit that I have. Fortunately, I check all my DMs, I think weekly or so. So this cannot happen to me, fortunately. It happened before, and I learned from it. Yeah.
Well, we also learn from other artists and other influencers that you have to have your bio site, or at least or website, right? And it has to have like contact information or email, because most of the people are really who want to have a project with you, they're not gonna just DM. They also can be professional and email stuff. And it happens to
Yeah.
me when people actually email. Sometimes it's about podcast, about promotion, about different services, but DMs Well, for people like Scott Storch, okay, but some people on the middle level, most of the time they will use email if it's available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, it's been a good run. I think at the end of towards the end we had a good connection. We didn't have interruptions.
Better connection than
Yes,
last time. Yeah.
definitely better connection. I wish every guest had the same connection because God knows how many episodes we didn't record. I had planned because of the regulations in the country, because of other guests. That's probably the worst part of having online podcast, because you could really fuck with your consistency like this. But
You gotta tell me about the regulations. I didn't know about it.
well, the internet didn't go anywhere, but basically government spent billions and billions of currency to um, block the VPN services. So basically a lot of services such as Meta, a lot of, and Telegram, Instagram are not available without VPN in our
Mm.
country. And especially services like YouTube and services like this one I'm using to record, everything is not working without VPN. So what
Mm.
people have been doing, they just download free or a really low cost VPN, right, or proxy, and they just use it. But the government went further and they decided to block all those VPN companies. And when people try to use them, so they have double layer of security, and people cannot even access YouTube.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not even talking about actually laws like of posting and promoting stuff on your social media. That's a different additional limitation. But just being able to connect with people, especially when you're already planned. I've had a couple of people from US. I've had the guy who actually been on TED Talks, and just like that, when regulation hit, I couldn't, been online. But right now it's a little bit more stable. But at the same time, it's even more unpredictable with something else, right? With
Mm.
it could be electricity, it
That
could be
sucks. Yeah.
water. With this like political stuff, more and more stuff gets more unpredictable than before. All right, so yeah.
That does not sound good.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, with my character and with my personality, when this something like this happens, like I can actually go into hermit mode after that for a long time, and I just don't want to plan anything else. That happens to me a lot
Mm.
of times when stuff
Yeah.
like this happens, because you can't, you know, educate yourself on some of the platforms anymore, or you can't connect with people that you planned, and then at the same time, when it becomes available, you have to somehow get on the same level of being than you were before, which is hard. So you have to you know crawl back, if you understand, like on energetic level, um, to be able to do this again. So just to give you an idea how it is on this
Yeah.
end.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. It sounds terrible.
Well, it's not even the complaining. It's just basically it's not even here. Only it's everywhere like this. Because I forgot to ask, what about the heat wave? Is it hitting the Germany too?
No, it's over. Thank God. I am so sensitive when it comes to temperatures, and man, I was melting away. It was so terrible. And I had to move during these days. That was the worst thing. And yeah, I remember my best friend and I, we were finished with moving all my stuff into the new flat. And afterwards, we were just breaking down. We're like, oh gosh, it was the terrible idea to do it on these days. And yeah, it's over. We have like 20 degrees right now. It's pretty okay. It's decent temperature, but it is going to be a bit hotter next week. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah, it's over, and I did not enjoy it, and I don't need it again. What about you? Is it hot over in your country, or?
Yeah, it's actually it's I think it's getting hotter right now, and it's actually becoming more humid than before. So it's unusually humid. We do have a huge river here, which causes huge levels of humidity during the winter. That's why winter could be cooler because, for example, you could have 20 degrees negative, but with humidity it becomes 35, right?
Okay.
But summer, but summer, I don't know. It's to me, it's the first time like this when it's too humid. So it's hot, it's humid, and I wanted to ask on your side, like, was it like sauna or was it like a hammam level, like humid level too?
It was, I don't know.
It was dry or not?
I'm thinking about it right now. I experienced it as dry, but I'm not a professional, so it could be
Humid.
extremely humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I experienced it as extremely dry, and it was so draining. Yeah.
Yeah, I would expect because I've been only in Berlin. I would expect it would be more dry. I would expect it more dry. But if it's like a heat wave, especially in the city, it's horrible. I don't think it's like it's if it's I think in that case it's better to be somewhere near the ocean or um, any other type of river or lakes when it could be more humid, but it's still better in the sense that the city doesn't kill you because the walls and everything that just gets more and more hotter.
Hmm. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that these heat waves are going to kill me when I turn 50 or so. Honestly. I'm not built for this shit. Are you? Are you
I'm pretty okay
okay,
because
okay with it? Yeah.
I was born in Siberia because so extreme it's extreme cold is okay with me, and I
Mm,
also lived in California. I was a lot of times in Arizona. I lived in Miami, and most importantly, I lived in UAE, which is like which is hell because it's over 45. It's like 47 at this time. Plus, it's very humid.
okay.
So, and if you get used to it, and I actually got used to it, and I was even sometimes jogging in the morning in that kind of conditions, because a lot of even UFC fighters, they actually, if the fight is in Abu Dhabi, they actually have to come like 2 months before to get acclimated. And
Yeah.
um, when I got there, my first 2 days, I was like dying because AC doesn't really help. It's like you over freezing from AC and you can actually get sick because if your AC
Mm,
is not clean all the way and because people use them a lot and most of the time they're not clean enough and there's a lot of bacteria that you can get sick from.
yeah.
And another
Mold.
part,
Yeah.
mold, yes, and another part is just you're not built for it. So I think
Yeah.
I've been here and there and this kind of condition, this kind of heat wave, I will survive. And most important to me, because I'm into longevity stuff and into nutrition stuff. It sounds controversial, but if you drink less, you will feel better. Everyone says stay hydrated. But the thing is, when you drink more water, the water get actually boiled more in your veins in your body, and you actually feel worse. So and you actually get more sunburn because of that. And um, at the same time, if it's extremely cold and if you drink a lot of water, you go outside, the water freezes and you get cold faster. It makes sense because we already 80% of water, so why we need to be 90% of water? Because if you don't drink during the heat wave too much, you still have to drink. If you don't drink too much, you're not going to get less than 80% of water from your body. Your body is still going to contain the same levels. So it just has to be a different type of hydration, such as cold shower, such as fruits or vegetables with a lot of liquid like oranges or um, cucumbers and stuff like that. So because the level of liquid in those fruits and veggies, they really match our body water. that we have in our bodies. You know what I mean? And when you drink plain water, it actually gets boiled on the heat wave and you feel worse. For example, you're moving, you try to drink, chug some water, and you actually feel worse and everything comes out. But if you wait on, a
I
couple of
did not
oranges,
feel worse. Okay,
yeah, I
but
mean,
I don't know too much about it. I just know that drinking or staying hydrated is so important because it cools your system, and if your body gets over 40 degrees, it kills all the important proteins. So you're about to die. So you have to drink a lot to cool it down. But I have to read more about it, definitely. Yeah. Maybe
yeah,
there's some alternative way. Maybe not. I
yeah,
don't know.
I am not advocating or promoting anything, because sometimes the indicator of knowledge and the indicator of growth is actually that your knowledge is changing over time. And I used to think that regular hydration works. Now I think it doesn't work. Maybe in the future I'm going to think differently. But some of the sources that I use for that information is not publicly everywhere. So that's actually kind of in the darker side of availability. So with that kind of information, I treat my body just like like a laboratory. So I checked it on myself because I know.
And that's totally fine. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I'm not telling everybody have to do like this. You don't have to drink water. You don't have to eat food too much. What I do, I just experiment on myself. And when I actually drink less in specific extreme weathers like this, I actually feel different and feel more productive, and I don't feel dehydrated. So
And
I think,
dude, I'm just a musician. I'm not a scientist or something, but maybe it has something to do with placebo, or there's really something to it. But if you experiment on yourself, that's completely fair, and I don't judge it. I mean, there's evidence, and there's a lot of evidence that being or staying hydrated is so important. But dude, if you just want to try it yourself, it's totally fine. I can't say anything against it. Just
yeah,
say there's enough evidence that shows or proves that there's that staying hydrated is important, and it has to do with proteins and overheating and stuff. And man, I don't want to overheat when it's already
yeah,
hot.
yeah. It's great to talk about something rather than music as well. We just have a wide range of conversations, from World Cup to Russian couple climbing. I think that's the topic for a lot of podcasts right now. So
Probably.
I would expect so. But
Yeah,
yeah,
like I said last time, it's so important to talk about anything, not just music, because the world, it is so many things are happening in this world that are worth talking about, or at least worth knowing about. So yeah, I'm always happy to talk about other things that I'm not quite expecting. So yeah.
yeah. Is there anything we missed from last year? We haven't had a conversation. Have we touched on every topic on your life, on your creativity?
Yeah. Man, I think we went through everything. No, there's nothing on my mind right now. No.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, it was my pleasure today, and I hope we repeat it maybe next year for the next album. Would be my blast. Yeah, I had to think about it this morning. I was like, man, has it really almost been a year? It's crazy. Time runs so fast.
I
We're
don't
getting
believe it,
old.
because everyone I talk to, I ask everyone, and every single person confirms that time runs faster. So it's like you don't really have time to do anything right now. You want to do it, like you write on music, you create a podcast, but time flies. Like I can't believe like some people have 30 minutes podcast. Yes, of course they have specific topic, just one topic, but that's not really a podcast. It's just more like a session, right? But the real talk podcast, 20 minutes, I don't think it's possible anymore. It's like I don't know what they're doing. All right.
Yeah, but that's actually, but that's the thing. Yeah, time moves faster the older you get. That's a thing, and it's quick.